Hi, it's Lee, and welcome to the Tesla Economist. Yes, Tesla have a robot, just 1 year later from the first AI day, and revealed it without delay. It was operating for its first time ever that evening without a tether. Talk about leaving it to the last moment. I think you could sense some nervousness from Elon and some Tesla employees, hoping that there wouldn't be a repeat of the Cybertruck presentation and the robot fall on its face and break. Although no doubt that would have been great for publicity. But it didn't, although it was a very restrained live demonstration for that reason. I just wanted to go over my thoughts on the Optimus robot and hopefully offer as unique perspective as possible. Firstly, no one can deny that this is absolutely incredible progress just within a year. It looked more or less what I was expecting, kind of like the Terminator skeleton. This version was what Elon referred to as Bumble C. I'm guessing from the fact that the other version is called Optimus Subprime, this is another Transformers reference, like Bumblebee, Bumble C, and this version is mainly using off-the-shelf actuators and components. But there is an actual Optimus bot coming, with fully Tesla-designed actuators and battery pack, which wasn't able to walk yet, but should be able to in just a few weeks. This new version also has a shell, which is a good sign, because you may have speculated that the Bumblebee version had cooling issues, hence why it was open. But either way, that is not the case with Optimus, which looks a lot better already. The range of movement is impressive, or at least I think so. Full disclosure, I'm not a robotics engineer. There are lots of people commenting that Tesla haven't even reached to where Boston Dynamics were 5 years ago. But as for looks, check out Tesla's robot compared to Boston Dynamics. Look at the size difference. Tesla's is so much slimmer and weighs 16 kilograms lighter already. Admittedly, Tesla's is now 73 kgs, which is 160 pounds, and Tesla did initially say 125 pounds back in the first AI day, but perhaps this is just the start. Either way, we're talking about a similar weight of a human, but also similar proportions, and looked far more like a human than Boston Dynamics version. It's actually incredible what it can do, just given the size of it. And like I already said, Tesla achieved this in a year, which is crazy. Presumably the height is still also 5'8". It looked about that anyway. Tesla's actuators are not hydraulic like Boston Dynamics, which can do more impressive stunts. Tesla's use an electric motor for their actuators, as they have to reduce battery drain. The bot needs to last hours, not minutes, just for some pre-programmed demonstration. Tesla could have shown a much more impressive demo with a bot they aren't realistically going to make. This was a recruitment event to show talent, not what kind of prototype they can make, but one they can mass produce. Tesla's robot doesn't need to do backflips or parkour, it just needs to get from A to B doing simple tasks. What does this tell me? The most important thing, it's for real. Tesla are making a mass production robot, not a robot to show off to investors to boost the stock price. Same with their cars. Tesla's prototypes are pretty much the same as the mass-produced version. Tesla are demoing a robot that can be mass-produced with low-cost, abundant parts that works in a way that the battery will last a full day's work. That's a big difference, and I think it's probably what will go over a lot of people's heads. Tesla's main competitive advantage here, compared to other robotics companies, is going to be their FSD. The fact it can offer exceptional vision to a robot, enough to judge distances and objects, and able to navigate around, which is amazing when you think about it, especially without ultrasonic sensors, but on vision alone. This bot has a brain, as Elon says, which is what other bots are missing. They don't have the intelligence to navigate the world by themselves. Then we get to see the robot actually in action. It can lift up boxes, carry them, and deliver them. I know this is an incredibly basic function for a human being, but this is not a human being. It's mind-blowing. Even replacing any human jobs, as basic as they may be, is massive. It means that you can replace a worker with a salary you have to pay them every year with a robot. The value it adds is truly astonishing. Then we also see it watering plants too. Firstly, it picked up the water can just about perfectly and held it right. Not some weird way that you'd probably expect where it spills the water, but no, actually held it right and could pour the can properly too. Wow. Then we see it working at an actual station at the Fremont factory, doing an actual task. Wow again. You can just imagine in a few years' time when you see a Tesla factory, there are going to be so many of these bots working on building cars, doing all these tasks. The amount of money it will save, the hassles of having employees, having to train new ones, manage them, vacations, none of that matters. This is absolutely phenomenal. I was expecting a demo, as I said, but something far more basic than this. Tesla are so much further ahead already. Elon says it would cost less than $20,000, which is a price point that just about everyone in the developed world could afford. In other words, if they can be mass produced, they'll be in every home. However, I would also say it would be similar to the vehicles. The first ones will cost a lot more until economies of scale kick in. The first ones are likely to replace existing workers and may cost in excess of $100,000, but have value of more than twice that to a business. Then they'll come down in price. They'll be able to offer more applications that are of less value. Elon then talks about what effect this will have on the economy, and he says what is an economy? Productive entities times its productivity per capita. He says the economy becomes quasi-infinite when there is unlimited capita. I don't agree with him entirely here. In my opinion, an economy is a way to economize due to living in scarcity. Robots can't make more land. They can't increase the beachfront on Malibu. They can't make another Eiffel Tower. There is still scarcity. But no doubt, when this future vision is fully manifested, it would offer abundance like never before imagined and drastically improve living standards. Elon goes on to say how important it is that Tesla is a public company and that shareholders can vote on how the future of this company goes, compared to Elon being, for lack of a better word, a dictator with his own vision that may not align with the people's. Almost as if Tesla will become some sort of entity much larger than we imagine as a corporation, almost on a governmental level, almost as if Elon is trying to protect us from himself in case he ever became too powerful. The robot is being powered by a 2.3 kilowatt-hour battery and consumes 100 watts whilst sitting or 500 watts whilst walking, so it could walk for nearly 5 hours until the battery is flat, although we're told it can pretty much do a day's work before needing to be charged. That's absolutely amazing. I would however speculate that the bot is most likely to use the highest energy density possible for batteries, given that it would reduce weight significantly and allow much easier balance and reduce in size. Sure, it would mean higher energy density would affect life cycles, but we're talking about a 2.3 kilowatt-hour battery here. It would probably cost Tesla less than $1,000 to replace. If it only lasts just a year even, then it's still feasible, although I would expect a longer life. I would also very much guess that the bot is running on 4680 cells due to the fact it needs to be in such high production and there's no cell as energy dense that can be produced as fast as the 4680, or at least will be. So likely another product Tesla have bet the 4680 cell on. And alright, I could talk about the rest of the specs, but there are people more credible than me that can explain what they mean better. Sure, I'm extremely impressed by it all, but I don't want to step out of my lane. Although those actuators lifting half a ton, that is crazy, and I can't wait to see them in the actual Optimus bot. Now, as the Tesla investor narrative goes, after any Tesla event, no matter how mind-blowing, it goes over the market's head, and they don't understand. And the majority of you are expecting this time to be no different. But is it? What if the stock starts moving slightly, and perhaps the market suddenly starts to realize what this means, and then it starts to run? Maybe. But unfortunately, the market is not in a great place right now. It's not in a mood to be particularly future-looking, particularly as this product is still 3 to 5 years away from delivery. But in all honesty, I think Tesla could get a little boost from this. I'm not sure it'll take them back to $300, but it might get about 3% or so, assuming the broad market is flat. I don't think it will drop the stock. How could it drop the stock if it didn't boost it in the first place? Maybe the overall narrative will be that they haven't even caught up with Boston Dynamics and the market is disappointed. But is the market really that crazy? Anyway, it was better than I expected in every way, highly impressive, and the future looks awesome. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.